The top level of New Zealand's fastest growing and most exciting motorsport returns for the 2015 Summer Series. Gaz Whiter made history in one of the toughest Ford Championship campaigns last season, coming from behind to win a fourth championship title to reign as king in the land of the long white cloud. Now in its 12th season, the D1NZ D1NZ Championship Series is back. Who will be the next Drift King? We've got all the highlights action coming your way right here on Oversteer TV. Yes, welcome to a brand new season of highlights here on Oversteer TV, the official online video broadcaster for the D1NZ Championship Series, brought to you by D1NZ. I'm Kenny Ruddle, live stream and trackside commentator for the series this season. It's great to have your company. Cheers for tuning in and supporting D1NZ for another great thrilling championship title fight as we head into the summer of 2015. Now, the first round of the series made a big return to Manfeild Raceway in the lower North Island of New Zealand, a historic motorsport facility with fast-flowing cambered corners, and this year sees the introduction of a new sector-based scoring system, which resulted in a fresh new competition format and plenty of great door-to-door battles. Each track this season is divided into 3 sectors, where different areas of the track hold higher or lower points value across all 3 judging criteria. The judges asked for a fast entry into Sector 1 and a big switch into the first transition zone through to a fast inside clip. Sector 2 held the least amount of points for round 1 with a simple smooth transition into another inside clipping zone. The final sector was the key area for round 1, where drivers needed to put on big entries into the outside line on the hairpin, driving back down into an inside clip before a rolling burnout to finish. Drivers caught switching back were marked down heavily, while the pressure was all on the final switch to win the most amount of points throughout qualifying. Let's head straight into the big moments of practice and qualifying, and it was a wet and wild start to the first round of the new championship season. Drivers battling a rain-soaked track struggled for grip and speed through the section, but the rain eased off in the afternoon, with teams getting their first taste of tyre smoke on a dry line. Defending champion Gaz Whiter was behind the wheel of something unusual for the opening round of the series, piloting the Sean Yearbury Tectoloy C33 Laurel, an old Drift Corp chassis which hadn't been driven in nearly 7 years. With the Tectoloy S14 in Sydney, Australia for the World Time Attack Formula Drift Asia doubleheader, the 4-time champ was struggling with electrical issues and a slipping clutch, but enjoying the time behind the wheel of an iconic piece of D1NZ history.
Now, it's always fun to come down here and get back on this track. We don't get to do it much. It's a long haul for us because we're all the way up from Whangarei, so to come down here and put on a show for everyone's pretty cool, and hopefully we can get this thing running and get out there for qualifying. Yeah, last season was pretty high for us. You know, we took it out for a 4th year, so this season we've come into it and we're just going to have a bit of fun, you know, and what better way to do it in Sean's old original D1 Laurel. So no, we're not focused on winning this year. We're just here to have fun and put on a show for everyone.
It was an unusual case of coincidence, as a number of drivers would appear in borrowed cars at the opening round. With his own chassis under a rebuild, Pro-Am champion Vincent Langhorne stepped into Jordan Tweedy's S14, while Dave Steben battled engine dramas to see him behind the wheel of his teammate Adam Davies' rotary-powered 180 SX.
The goal section is going to be very wide though here. As they come closer to that rumble strip, it does allow them fast.
This season will be all about the Pro-Am graduates stepping into the main game this summer, with Vincent Langhorne leading the charge, making the move up as the likes of Gaz Grove in the ex-Camp Vernon CMP Construction Spill Response S15. Through Sector 2, nails that inside clipping zone, switches back. Can he take a wide line for 3 and dive back down? He don't want to switch. Alongside him were 2 of the standouts from Pro-Am last year, Tom and Joe Marshall, the brothers from the far north, competing in the new look ATJ RB powered Nissan S chassis.
We're into the Gulf Force Pro Section 2, as you would have seen on the qualifying videos.
With a new season comes plenty of changes in pit lane. The big talking point this season, being dubbed the V8 Invasion, sees top stars Kurt Whitaker, Cole Armstrong and Jody Verhulst making switches to American V8 power plants. Kurt Whitaker was the big surprise in the Rattler Motorsport Autosure R34 Skyline, now sharing a similar heart to the Rattler Falcon with a 410 small block pushing 750 horsepower. Jody Verhulst makes the change from a 2JZ 6-cylinder to an LS2 V8, sharing the same setup with her partner and teammate Drew Donovan in the Milwaukee S15.
Practice days over the country, so great way to
he's a great contributor to grassroots motorsport as well, so fantastic character to have in the D1. Cole Armstrong's change to V8 power takes a different route than most, now behind the wheel of a Nissan G35 Skyline powered by a Dodge NASCAR V8.
It's awesome entry, it's really fast, very flowing. This car, it's just totally different to my other, 34. We were able to just be on the gas so much, and with the NASCAR motor, it just screams. It's been awesome. We've got the new 4-speed Jasper gearbox in it. Runs awesome. You've got to be really aggressive on it and smash it in gears. So I'm pretty stoked with how the new girl's going, and we've got qualifying coming up, so we'll go out and see how we do it out there. It's starting to dry up a little bit, so it's going to be interesting.
The rise of V8 power in the D1NZ series hasn't phased the likes of Nico Reed, however. The former Pro-Am champion tearing up Manfeild Raceway in a new look RB25 powered luxury sports GVI S15. Another series young gun with a new look for the season is Joe Kukatai in the Rockstar R32 Skyline, another RB campaigner looking forward to an action-packed season, enjoying the fast-flowing Manfield circuit.
Yeah, no, Manfield's a sick track. It's like 160k entry, foot flat the whole thing. I mean, you only ever lift on the hairpin, and yeah, man, that's what I love. Just mashed it, limiter, full throttle, huge smoke, man, huge angles. This season, man, we've got huge confidence coming into the first round. Made a few changes here and there with our new sponsors to get the car, where we need it to be at a competitive level. So yeah, no, I'm pumped and pretty stoked to go out there and see what this thing can do.
Two-time champion Fangadan unveiled a new-look Century Batteries VE Commodore for the first time in D1NZ. The big four-door looking tough out on track throughout practice until smashing an axle after unfortunate contact with fellow Northlander Gaz Wider. The VE was out of action in qualifying and Fanga had to resort to a borrowed car, choosing to pilot Pro-Am Ben Jenkins SR20 deck Precision Wheels S13 and salvaging 12th place on the grid. Counting down the top order, it was Drew Donovan taking 5th place with 2 consistent passes on board the Milwaukee S15. Just ahead was the best of the V8 campaigners with Andrew Redwood in a new look Club Auto Achilles FC RX7, setting a 4th place 77-point pass.
Drops on in, that's what he wants to see. Now he's going to try to go to the fast line where those 2 cones are. He's on the fast line. Is he going to have a big entry here? This is where the points are scored. Slight handbrake coming into the section, drops down. Not a bad run there from Andrew Redwood, and that will...
Spearheading the charge against the V8 invasion though is Danum Templeman in the Monster Power 2JZ NAC RX7, and despite losing a wheel during qualifying, the former circuit racer pushed through to 3rd place, confident with the variety of D1NZ competition.
Toyota turbo power plant, 700 horsepower at the wheels. Absolutely like a hot knife through butter, and he is ploughing it out there.
Yeah, it was quite an interesting qualifying session for us. I thought I debeated a tyre actually in the first run, but it was actually the tyre decided to part ways with the car coming into the pits, so give the boys a bit of a shock, but we brought it back and fired a new tyre on it and new wheel nuts and that, and went out and we've qualified third. So yeah, we're pretty happy. The car feels a lot better. We were actually battling a setup issue all of yesterday and this morning, and in hindsight it was actually what was actually happening with the wheels, so we're pretty happy now, and we should have a good package to hopefully battle our way through to the top.
Alright, the top 3 are all turbocharged 6s. What do you think about that with the V8 invasion going on this season?
Yeah, well, quite nice, because everyone turned up to Manfield and everyone's adopted the V8s. We had Kurt who was running a 2J, now got a V8, and Cole with a V8, and it was sort of like, wow, are we doing the right thing? Everyone seems to be doing V8s, but it's nice to see the turbocharged cars back up near the front, and I still think they're going to be competitive no matter what.
Suffering electrical issues after the wet practice on day one, Darren Kelly was another driver stepping into a borrowed car. The former Pro-Am champion competing in the Gargan Kang Pro-Am Development Series car, and with a similar RB engine and chassis setup, it was no surprise Kelly felt right at home behind the wheel, setting an 80-point pass to qualify in first equal.
To the Demon Energy end, can't see him now, he comes back through the smoke. Beautiful for the first time ever driving that car.
That's pretty good considering my car's parked up and we had to borrow a car last minute. Couldn't really be any better.
I saw you in your first run, you played it safe, but that second run you banked it.
Yeah, that first run was the first time I've ever driven that car, so had to go out and sort of get a feel for it. Still laid down a pretty good run, but second run hit high boost, gave it everything and managed to get first equal.
The man on top though was one of the newcomers to the Pro Championship this season. Stepping up from Pro-Am, Shane Giles in the RB26 powered Nissan S14 set a blistering 80-point lap in qualifying, sealing the deal in his second pass with a 73, securing the top step and pole position for the opening round of the Demon Energy D1NZ Series.
Raceway. Mate, that was an awesome first pass that you did. I mean, I think you really shocked the field.
Yeah, it was. I shocked myself. I was nervous, hands were shaking, but nah, worked out well. Oh, at first I wasn't worried at all, but then when we lined up for qualifying, I actually got nervous for the first time, so I was a bit worried. So, but no, obviously it went well, so it's all good. Just looking forward to the battles.
All right, so you're a turbo campaigner. You want to get amongst those dirty V8s and swap a bit of paint?
Yep, hate the V8s.
So Shane Giles tops the field and puts a Nissan RB26 Godzilla power plant in pole position ahead of Darren Kelly in the Joe's Mechanical R32. Danum Templeman takes third for an all-turbo top three. Andrew Redwood the best of the V8s with Drew Donovan in behind. Cole Armstrong ahead of Matt Lauder, Nico Reed, Kurt Whitaker and Dave Steedman setting great pace in his teammate's car to round out the top 10. Don't go away, we've got highlights of the top 32 right after the break. Welcome back, you're watching highlights of the Demon Energy D1NZ Championship Series. Round 1 from Manfeild Raceway. Kicking off the first top 32 for the season was Stephen Soul giving chase to Pro Class rookie Joe Marshall in the ATJ 180SX, and Stephen Soul made too many corrections in the chase. Marshall taking the win, keeping a consistent lead for his first Pro Championship battle. Adam Hedges was another driver in a borrowed car taking on Kurt Whitaker and Troy Jenkins' Precision Wheels S15 Sylvia. The Seas Garage driver putting on a solid lead while the Autoshore R34 washed out in Sector 3, pushing the battle to an OMT.
He switches back, he comes back on for Sector 3, he goes wide. Kurt Whitaker goes wide.
Kurt tried his luck again in the chase, but he couldn't stick it together as Hedges would take the win through to the top 16.
They switch back into the demon corner, big correction there from Kurt Whitaker though. Langhorn on the chase. Kyle Jackway's delivering the goods. Langhorn spins 10-0 to Kyle Jackway.
Kyle Jackway's had an easy run on board the Colton's Motors 180SX. Vincent Langhorn spinning in the chase. Jackway's advancing through with the win.
Not holding back even though it's a borrowed car. Slight correction there from Sky Zhao, but Sky Zhao's jumping back in it. He is fast.
Fanger Dan and Sky Zhao battled out on another OMT. The 2 Degrees 350Z all over the back of the slower Precision Wheels S13, but Fanger Dan holding his ground.
He gets back on the chase. He's chasing Fanger Dan as hard as he can, coming up out through the exit.
In the rerun, it was much the same from Sky Zhao with another aggressive chase run until the 2 Degrees V8 made contact with the SR20 powered Sylvia. Fanger Dan going through to the top 16.
Sky Zhao hung back at the initiation point and then caught up to Fanger so fast on that
there's
first
contact
sector.
there.
And is there contact there?
There's
Did
contact
Sky
there.
Zhao hit Fanger Dan?
Tom Marshall hunted down season regular Aidan Omlin in the Aidan's Tyres Altezza with a dominant chase run securing victory as Aidan struggled in the second pass, making contact with the ATJ S13 at the Demon Hairpin.
Sector 3, can Aidan Omlin pull something back here? Swapping paint, contact! Big contact there, Aidan Omlin.
Joe Kukatai put on an aggressive chase against Dave Steedman in the Team DSR rotary-powered 180SX for a place in the top 16, but struggling with angle and a scrappy line, Kukatai's chase didn't do him any favours, and Steedman kept a clean chase run to take the win.
Dave Steedman, all he has to do is finish this run, and he's going to have a huge advantage.
The wild battles kept coming with Shane Allen and Gaz Grove putting on good entries in their top 32 matchup. Shane Allen putting 2 wheels off in the chase. Gaz Grove doing the same.
What can he pull out of the bag to claw some points back? And Gaz Grove.
Going OMT, Shane Allen would bounce back stronger with a much better chase. Gaz Grove would keep a clean lead though as the Rattler Falcon went off track at the end of Sector 3. Gaz Grove taking the win.
Smoke show.
He's off. He's dropped a wheel. Shane Allen just pushed too hard.
Defending champ Gaz Whiter struggled in qualifying and it continued in the battles, giving chase to Bruce Tannock. It was an early exit for the full-time legend. The Tectaloy C33 Laurel suffering a fuel cut issue at the first switch.
In practice and struggled.
Heading into the top 16, Shane Giles led out from fellow Pro-Am graduate Joe Marshall in the ATJ 180SX, the RB26 powered S14 with a solid lead, but Joe Marshall was shadowing with a consistent chase before putting on a strong lead run for the win as Shane Giles corrected on entry and washed out at Sector 3.
Shane Giles had a huge advantage. Now he's giving it away big time. Was that 2 wheels?
Kyle Jackaways met up with an old foe battling Andrew Redwood in the top 16, but the Hamilton schoolteacher threw it all away on the entry, handing an easy victory to Redwood, who didn't hold back on the chase run.
Roaming and Kyle Jackaways, big Andrew from Andrew Redwood. Andrew Redwood hurt him. He dives.
Team Milwaukee's Jody Verhulst lined up against Adam Hedges in the borrowed Precision Wheels S15. Miss Drift struggling in the chase, and Hedges coming through with a win.
But another correction from the Milwaukee Supra. It's not going Jody's way. She bails out. This means Hedges will have a 10-0 advantage. Is this mechanical? Did she get a misfire?
Looking for team redemption was Drew Donovan lining up against Fangadan in the Precision Wheels S13. And despite being in an unfamiliar car with only 250 kilowatt, he still managed a great chase run. Donovan pulling a gap into Sector 3.
Bit of speed coming into
In the second pass, it was Fanger trying to fend off a hard-charging Donny D, the Milwaukee V8-powered S15 all over the back of the borrowed Pro-Am car until making contact at the hairpin. Fangadan through to the top 8.
Matt Lauder in the 2JZ-powered 180SX.
Matt Lauder led out from Dave Steedman in the 16, the Mimico rotary all over the rear of the 2JZ-powered 180SX, Steedman taking the win in the lead, with Lauder falling away in Sector 3.
Back to Sector 3 and Lauder dropping back a little bit, tries to claw it back up.
Gaz Grove took on Danum Templeman for a shot at the top 8. The CMP Construction S15 making a huge mistake on entry. Danum powering away with the advantage before sealing the deal in the chase.
Down the smoke happening. Templeman switches on in. Is he going to close the gap? He does. He backs off. He switches back in. Templeman doesn't dive either. Here's going to be the paint swap potentially. They go wide. Templeman, what a chase!
Good mates Bruce Tannock and Cole Armstrong went side by side in a battle of V8s versus RB. The Dodge NASCAR V-Energy Skyline heading out with a scrappy first sector, but coming on song throughout the rest of the section.
Bruce Tannock on full right now in the Achilles radial S13. All he needs to do now is a slight correction.
But it was in the second pass where Bruce nailed the lead run with the Achilles S13, powering away from Cole Armstrong, who got things wrong at the hairpin.
Force Pro, he's still playing catch-up. The RB30 is powering away from the Dodge NASCAR.
Chase Cole Armstrong nearly goes backwards into the entry. He does. It scrubs his speed off.
The best chase of the weekend was found in the final stages of the top 16 as Tom Marshall in the ATJ S13 took on former Pro-Am champion Darren Kelly in the Joe's Mechanical R32 Skyline. With Marshall putting on a stellar chase and Darren matching, the scrap had to go OMT with 2 more fantastic passes.
The Demon Energy Corner, Tom Marshall, ATJ, welcome to D1NZ.
The final lap would see Tom Marshall score the Laser Tools best chase of the weekend, chasing harder than the first attempt, going door to door with Kelly until he pushed a little too far in the final inside clipping zone, dropping a wheel and handing a win to Kelly through to the top 8.
He switches both 90 degree, he dives now into Demon Energy. Will this mark him down? But still, what a chase.
Kicking off the top 8, it was Joe Marshall and Adam Hedges in a battle of S-chassis, the ATJ 180SX leading out the Precision Wheels S15. Both drivers making mistakes, but it was Hedges coming through with overall consistency, taking the win into his first D1NZ top 4. Fangadan was looking like a dark horse for the top 4 as he lined up against Andrew Redwood, but the hard charge all fell apart on entry. Fanger breaking a gear lever in the Precision Wheels S13, Redwood taking the win.
Happy with it, and in fact here we go, he's actually pushing the car, so something has failed on that car.
Bruce Tannock was another driver finding trouble on the entry into Sector 1, battling Danum Templeman, who powered away in the NAC RX-7 before rounding up the Rocket Bunny in the chase to secure a place in the top 4.
Run here so far. Now we're going to see a crossover. Now Danum Templeman tries to close the gap up. They come in, Danum Templeman.
Darren Kelly was continuing a superb drive in the Gargan Kang Joe's Mechanical R32 Skyline, battling David Steedman, who was equally putting on a fantastic performance behind the wheel of the Adam Davies Mimico 180 SX.
This is why he was the Pro-Am champion, and he was 9th last year, second at Mount Smart, delivers the goods, dives on in. I've got to say, I'm pretty sure I'm safe to say that will be Darren Kelly through to the top 4.
The final 4 saw Adam Hedges battle Andrew Redwood for a shot at the top step, the battle going to an OMT after both drivers straight-lined the Gulf Force Pro inside clipping zone, and with a refreshed start, Hedges gave chase again to the Achilles FC RX-7, but again couldn't hold the first switch. Redwood rounding up Hedges in the second pass and through to the final.
7 reels him in, they switch on the last corner, mid 90 degrees from both drivers. Andrew Redwood door-to-door, bumper-to-bumper, closes the gap.
The 2 hot favourites for the top step came together in the semi-final, Danum Templeman giving a big chase to Darren Kelly in the R32, but Danum would push too wide on entry, putting him offline for the first clipping zone and falling away at Sector 2 as Darren Kelly drove away with a win.
Chase, but he scrubs too much speed, he spins! Danum Templeman, 10-0.
This would see Templeman line up against Hedges for a chance at third place, only to make the same mistake again in the chase. Hedges through to his first ever D1NZ Pro Class podium. The final battle of the weekend went down to Andrew Redwood and Darren Kelly. The Nissan RB powered Skyline up against the V8 powered FC RX-7. Kelly with a clean lead, but Redwood chasing with a taste of victory.
This is why they are battling for first and second. A slight mistake there from Andrew Redwood though. He's going to reel him back in on Demon Energy corner. Door to door, bumper to bumper. Who's going to get the advantage out of this battle?
In the second pass, it was Kelly keeping the consistency flowing, while Andrew Redwood made a minor correction through Sector 2. Kelly with enough points on the board to drift on through to his first ever D1NZ victory.
Straight line from Andrew Redwood, has to re-enter into Sector 3, and I think Darren Kelly played it safe through most of this lap.
So Darren Kelly takes out the round win for the Demon Energy D1NZ season opener, and Redwood in behind ahead of Hedges and Templeman, and Shane Giles secures a top 5 finish with his pole position in qualifying, followed by Steedman, Tannock, Woolhouse, Marshall and Drew Donovan rounding out the top 10.
So as you've just seen, round 1 was all about the new drivers, the new cars, the borrowed cars, and some amazing battles out on track. A refreshing start to the D1NZ Championship Series as we head into the summer of 2015. Well, the action on track is only going to get hotter for D1NZ Round 2. We're back in the concrete jungles and we're back at Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland City with a whole new track layout for New Zealand's only night drifting super show. Now, Round 2 falls on Guy Fawkes weekend, so we've got a huge fireworks display lined up thanks to the guys at Pirate Company Fireworks. Bring the family and enjoy all the action. We've also got Live FMX as our supporting entertainment. It's going to be one hell of a night. Come along to the D1NZ National Drifting Championship Round 2 at Mount Smart, November 7 and 8. Book your tickets now at iticket.co.nz. Tickets are limited and it is a limited capacity event, so book now, get in early and secure your place. We've also got VIP tickets on sale now. Those are selling like hotcakes, so if you want to watch the D1NZ action from a VIP lounge with food and refreshments, make sure you jump on iticket.co.nz and secure your ticket right away. Now, Oversteer TV is also giving away a free double pass to the event, so if you want to get your hands on those tickets, make sure you check out facebook.com/Oversteer TV or log on to our website oversteertv.co.nz and you'll find all the details there. In the meantime, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We've got plenty more video action coming your way, and I'll see you at the track, Mount Smart Stadium, Auckland City for Round 2 of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series.